bookworms! Today I'm going to be doing my July book haul. I actually have to say that there is a bit of books, but I think it's actually one of the smallest hauls that I've ever done on my channel, which is kind of surprising, especially because it was my birthday month. Although I do have a separate video coming of my birthday haul, and there is manga in that one, and this one is just strictly books, so that could be also why it's a little bit smaller. But before I show you what I picked up and was sent this month, I just wanted to tell you guys, because I talk about it on Instagram, but I haven't actually said it in a YouTube video yet. One of my favorite t-shirt companies is Jordan Dene. She just came out with a new collection of Victoria Schwab t-shirts, and they're calling it the Darker Shade of Clothing collection. So I'm actually wearing one of the shirts now. It's one of the Lila Bard quotes, and it says, "I'd rather die on an adventure than live standing still." And I've been wearing this shirt like non-stop since I got it. And if you guys are interested, you can use my code, which is Super Space Chick, and you can get a discount on an order. She has a ton of Harry Potter shirts that I've ordered quite a bit of. She also has a shirt of the month every month. This month for August, it's actually 2 shirts, and they're supernatural themed. There's like tons of like Marvel stuff, and she just has like something for everyone, and also just like general geek girl type stuff. And I don't know, I love them. They're really comfortable. I wear them all the time. So I just wanted to let you guys know, because I definitely talk about it on Instagram, but I, like I said, haven't mentioned it in a video yet. But anyway, now I'm gonna show you all of the books that I got in July. So starting with some new releases, I think the book that I'm probably most excited about this month is The Rise of Kyoshi by F.C. Yee. This is a book that is set in the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender. It follows Kyoshi, who is one of the past avatars, and I've heard really good things about it so far from like the Goodreads reviews that I have read. I'm really looking forward to reading it. I love Avatar, that series, like so much. I'm so thankful that Andrew introduced it to me. Like as soon as I saw that this book was coming out, I was like, pre-order. Then I also picked up Wilder Girls by Rory Power, and this book is a sapphic horror, and I've once again heard really good things about it from people who read early arcs of it, but I haven't really read too much in the way of horror recently, so I was definitely intrigued when I heard about this, and I really wanted to pick it up. And basically it follows a group of girls who are trapped on this island. They all went to this school together, and then this like really horrible disease started like taking over and killing everyone, and they've been fenced in on this island ever since, and they know that if they leave they'll get infected by this disease, so they're kind of like quarantined there. But then one of the girls goes missing, so one of the other girls wants to go and find her. Sounds like it's gonna be interesting. Then I have Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. This is another new release. It's a Mulan inspired fantasy retelling. It's actually blurbed by Tamara Pierce, which is kind of a big deal. It follows this girl who has to pretend to be a boy, and she goes undercover and believes she's like a seamstress, and she has to create outfits for like the king, and it sounds like it's gonna be really cool. I went to the book launch event for it at Books of Wonder, and it was really interesting to hear Elizabeth Lim talk about it, so she got me really excited to read it, and I really like Asian inspired fantasies, so this has been like on my radar since this beautiful cover was revealed. So that was actually the Owl Crate exclusive edition of Spin the Dawn. I just realized, because this is the one that I actually got from the event, and this is the original cover. It looks pretty similar actually. Oh, okay, so this one has gold writing, and also the spine is a little bit different than this one, but otherwise they're pretty similar. I ordered the Owl Crate box yet again this month, even though I'm no longer a rep for them, because I was really excited that the next Harry Potter mug was in there, and that one was Goblet of Fire themed, and it was really cute and worth it. But now I have 2 copies of this book, so hopefully I enjoy it. I also was sent a copy of Thrawn Treason by Timothy Zahn. This is the 3rd and final book in the Thrawn trilogy, and I'm so excited to read it. I really loved the first 2 books, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this is going to wrap up. I also was sent a copy of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge: A Crash of Fate by Zoraida Cordova. This is a young adult novel set in the Star Wars world. It takes place completely on Batuu, and it's tied in with Galaxy's Edge, which is the new theme park that opened at Disneyland and is soon opening at Disney World. I have heard that there are a ton of Easter eggs in here for the park, so if you're planning on taking a trip to Galaxy's Edge anytime soon, this would be a really great source of reading material for you to check out before you head there, because you'll just pick up so much more in the park that you might otherwise not notice. And I read an interview with Zoraida Cordova on StarWars.com, and she talked about how the romance in here is kind of reminiscent of Padme and Anakin, and that sounds pretty interesting to me, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. And then while I'm talking about Star Wars, I also picked up a copy of Alphabet Squadron by Alexander Freed. This book actually came out in June, but I hadn't gotten a copy yet, so I just picked one up now. This one follows a whole bunch of different pilots, and each one pilots like a different ship. Like there's an X-Wing, there's a Y-Wing. And one of the reasons that I was so excited to pick up this book and read it is because one of the pilots is Hera Syndulla from Rebels, and I love Hera. She is one of my favorite female characters in the Star Wars universe, so I'm really looking forward to getting more of her story. And I also picked up a copy of Star Wars The Force Awakens. This is just a novelization of The Force Awakens film. I am probably not going to read the film novelizations, quite honestly, but I wanted to have a complete collection of like hardcovers within the Star Wars universe. So with this one, I am now only missing 3 adult hardcover Star Wars books that I will hopefully soon be adding to my Star Wars shelf up there. I just wanted to round things out. I'm probably not going to read it because I've watched the movie quite a few times. Moving on. If you watched our live show for Tithe, which was on Jane from It's Jane Lindsay's channel, we kind of went off on a tangent and we were talking about some other fantasy series that involved fairies, and Mel from Mel to the Any had mentioned a series by Laini Taylor about fairies that I had no idea existed. And like the minute that she said Laini Taylor and fairies, I was like on the side Googling where can I buy these books. So the hardcovers are out of print, but I was able to find copies for not too badly priced on eBay. Unfortunately, they are like they're old library books, so there are some stickers on them, but they're still, I'm so excited to read them. I can't even imagine a fairy series by Laini Taylor. So the series name is Fairies of Dreamdark. The first book is Blackbringer. The second book is Silk Singer. I think Mel said there were supposed to be a lot more of these, but she ended up having to kind of stop with 2. I don't know if it didn't get picked up or whatever, but either way, I'm still really interested in reading them because I love fairies and I love Laini Taylor's writing, so that was a really fun surprise. Then Scholastic sent me a copy of Season of the Witch, which ties into the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina television show on Netflix. This is a prequel story that's written by Sarah Reese Brennan, and this I am 100% can't wait to read. I'm definitely gonna read it in October because that is like the season of spooky things. I really need to give the TV show another chance. I found it a little bit tough to get into, but I'm gonna like try again. Before I do that, maybe I think I'll read this book and maybe I'll go in like, I don't know, in a different mindset or something, but I'm really looking forward to reading this. Then I was really excited to get a copy of The Art of Neil Gaiman by Haley Campbell. This is a book that I've had on my wish list since the book came out. It's been out for like a couple of years now, but I got an alert on Amazon that it went down to like $11, and it's always been like between $35 to $40. So I was like, yes, instant buy. And this is just all like about Neil Gaiman's journals and his experience as a writer, and I think there's even some ideas in here that he hasn't like written full books for. It's just like his notes and everything, and I'm really looking forward to reading it because Neil Gaiman is one of my favorite authors. Then I got the next installment in the graphic novel series of Over the Garden Wall. This one actually isn't like a sequential part of the series, it's its own like standalone story. So this one is called Hollowtown, so it's like a completed story arc just within this one graphic novel. I've talked about Over the Garden Wall so many times, but if you haven't watched it, it's on Hulu. It's worth checking out. I want to say it's like an hour and a half or something to watch the entire series. There's only 10 episodes and they're like 10 minutes each. It's honestly just the best thing. Andrew and I just rewatched the series again recently in the past week. I love it. Like, we say all of the lines along with it because we've watched it that many times, but it's like literally just my favorite thing in the world. Then Orbit Book sent me a copy of The Unlikely Escape of Uriah Heep, and this actually follows a main character who has this unusual ability, who's able to bring characters from books to life, which is like every reader's dream. But when some literary characters start causing trouble within the city, and it isn't the main character who's the one that brought these characters to life, they realize that somebody else has this power, and the main character Charlie and his brother have to try to figure out who that person is and try to stop them, and it sounds like it's gonna be amazing. And then also, like, inside of here when I opened the book, this fell out, which is like a little library card, which I'm definitely gonna use as a bookmark. That's awesome. I also got Heart Heartstopper Volume 2 by Alice Oseman. This is the continuation of the first Heartstopper graphic novel. I believe that you can read these for free online because it was a webcomic that is now published. I actually haven't read the first one yet, and I had pre-ordered the second one a while ago and forgot about it. So this one came in the mail, but I need to read the first one before I can get to this one. And then the last couple of books that I have to show you are not at all in order, but as you guys know, I wanted to start investing my time more wisely, dive into those series that I really want to read, those like long fantasy series that I've been putting off for so long because I know that they'll be time consuming instead of wasting my time on books that I know will be quick reads. So one of those series that I really want to get into is The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan and finished by Brandon Sanderson. The one thing though is that the hardcovers for these books are so expensive. They're like $30 a book, which I really don't want to spend. I already have the first one, so I made Andrew come with me to the Strand to see if the Strand would have any used copies of the books because then they would be a little bit cheaper, and I was able to find 3 on my last trip there. So I got Lord of Chaos, which is the 6th book in the Wheel of Time series, A Crown of Swords, which is book 7 in the series, and Crossroads of Twilight, which is book 10 in the series. There are 15 books in this series, including the prequel novel New Spring. Otherwise, it's like 14 books in the main series and then the 1 prequel book. So there's a lot of reading material here, and this is going to take me quite a long time. I know people have invested years of their life into reading this series. I'm definitely hoping that it won't take me years. We'll see how it goes. But I was able to find all 3 of these hardcovers that are pretty much like new for $9 each instead of $30 each. So I took the opportunity and they are now in my collection. And then while I was there, I also found a hardcover copy of Republic of Thieves by Scott Lynch for $9, and I was really excited about that. So I picked up this copy for myself as well, and hopefully I'll be able to find hardcovers of the first 2 in the series, but I really love The Lies of Locke Lamora. This is actually the 3rd book in the series for those who don't know. So there's only 2 other books to find, so I figured I'd put them on my eBay watch list and one day they'll come into my life and that will be great. But I need to actually continue on with this series. I didn't read after Lies of Locke Lamora because of reasons. I want to reread Locke and then read the next 2 books, kind of like what I've been doing with Mistborn, and I'm so glad that I started doing that because I am just obsessed with the world of Mistborn. So that's it. Those are all of the books that I have to show you for the month of July. Like I said, I think there's less here than I normally haul in a month, even though there still is quite a bit of them. Some of them are a bit on the bigger side, so I feel like my haul looks bigger, but I think it's definitely a shorter book haul overall, so I'm kind of proud of myself for being more selective. If you don't notice, I also redid my bookshelves when I took a week off of work recently. I love how they look. I think I like everything on my shelf is something that I love or I'm really excited to read, and if I don't like it, it will immediately get unhauled, and yeah, just feeling real good about this. So let me know if you have read any of the books that I mentioned, and that's all that I have for this video, and I'll see you guys soon in a new one. Bye!